Perry, I would really be interested to learn more about your podcast. What it's about, why you did it. Tell us about why you love doing the podcast.
Sure. So the podcast is called Eighth Layer Insights, and if you are a security person, you probably already kind of get an idea where that is. So thinking about the OSI model, that ends at layer seven. Eighth would be then the human side of things, and for me, it's an excuse to really explore a lot of different dynamics of human nature. And I usually build a dotted line to how that relates to cybersecurity in it, but sometimes I leave that out and leave that to the listener because my core audience is going to be cybersecurity professionals, but I don't want it to be bound to only be cybersecurity because in this podcast, we're really just learning about ourselves. And anything related to human nature can have dotted line connections to virtually anything else. So the reason that I created it is I think I just love podcasts. And I was looking around for a cybersecurity flavored podcast that had a few elements that I just wasn't seeing yet. And these are ones that elements that I saw in other non cybersecurity podcasts like Freakonomics and Planet Money and those kind of more narrative journalistic podcasts. And I wanted something that was fully sound designed, something that focused on the human, built connections to cybersecurity, and had multiple people being interviewed, just kind of following a train of thought. And so a typical episode for me has between three and four guests. It's done in documentary style, so the editing has everybody's comments being intercut against others, and there's lots of music and sound effects, and all trying to get to one singular idea at the end of the episode. And then it's also been an excuse for me to try things and take risks that I wouldn't otherwise take. I did one episode last season where I heard another podcast called Everything Is Alive, and it is these mock interviews between the interviewer and an inanimate object like a bar of soap. And so all of a sudden you're hearing the perspective of this thing that we interact with every day. And so I said, well, what would that be like in the security context? So I did mock interviews with a password, a piece of facial recognition software, secure email gateway, and a phishing email. And those are done in a semi comedic style because there's a lot of irony that can be drawn out of that. And then there's some other weird stuff that I threw in there as well. But that one was a lot of fun, and it gave me the excuse to do that. So that's it for me. But since then, I've actually branched out. I started a company about a month and a half ago focused on podcasts called Eighth Layer Media, and we've got two more shows coming over the next 2 months. One of those is just kind of tracing the journey of creating a podcast, and then the other one is what's going to be hopefully a very large mass media focused podcast, but then have this idea of how humans interact with technology.
Sounds like a really cool endeavor, and I appreciate
I
you
really
doing that. I
appreciate it.
know,
Yeah.
my little hobby has turned into something awesome, and it sounds like yours has turned into something even
Yeah.
even bigger.
Oh, well, I think it's just fun, and it gives us the ability to be creative, but then also serve people as well. So it's a lot of good things come together whenever we do this well.